this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so where is your head right now the day before the draft? I'm sure you've just been all over the place. You're now sort of right at it. Tell me what you're thinking, what you're feeling.
I'm excited to go see Avengers tomorrow night after the draft. Right now, I'm going to go bowling for my draft party, but, I mean, football's football, so at the end of the day, I know I'm going to get drafted, so I'm not worried about it.
Dwayne, Chris Carter here. Can you take me through the whole draft? I know I was there with you at the Rose Bowl. It doesn't matter if you had decided before the game, after the game, through the whole process, but after that, you decided to leave Columbus, go somewhere else and train. Can you explain the whole process, where you went, who you've been working on, and some of the things you were working on in your game that you thought were important to make this transition from being the best quarterback that's ever played for the Buckeyes to being a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, after the Rose Bowl, it was a hard decision. I sat down with my family and talked to Coach Day, and we just prayed about it. Knew that the best decision for me was to declare for the draft, and I did. I was in California training with Mama Sports Academy and Proactive with Quincy Avery and Deshaun Watson, and I was just getting better every day, getting ready for Pro Day, for the Combine, and it was a great process. Being a professional athlete for the first time, really just dedicating yourself to football, you know, it was definitely a different experience in college.
Dwayne, I've been making the case for the last few months that if I were in charge of an NFL team and I needed a quarterback, it'd be very simple. I think you'd be the first quarterback off the board. I think your body of work shows it. What is the case you could make for yourself that you are the best quarterback in this class?
I just felt I played quarterback at a very elite level from the aspect of accuracy, arm strength, delivering the ball from all aspects of the field, whether it's short, intermediate, deep, presence, leadership, everything that you need out of a quarterback. I feel like I bring that to a high level. And just to be able to show I got better every game throughout the season. And my best ball's in front of me. I'm only 21, turning 22 next month. And, you know, I feel like my potential is very, very limitless. I'm just trying to tap into it.
Dwayne, last year, right before the draft, we had Sam Darnold sit on the set here. We talked a lot about what was going through his head, what he thought about all the other quarterbacks coming out of the draft. He had nothing but high praise, but there was this sense of a little bit of a competition with them. What do you think about the other quarterbacks in your draft class this year?
They're great. A lot of great guys, a lot of good people, play a lot of football, and, you know, I have respect for all of them, and I think they're really good. But, you know, I feel very high of myself. I feel like I'm the best quarterback in this class.
Take me back to your days at Ohio State, because I've had a lot of conversations with Ryan Day, the new head coach there. I know that we changed a lot of things. I say we, you know how the Buckeyes, how we roll. As far as the passing, to take advantage of some of the stuff that Ryan knew from his days in the NFL. And he implemented those into the offense because he felt like he had a premier thrower of the football. Take me through some of the training that Coach Day to be able to get you ready for pro football, because a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of pro elements to the passing game at Ohio State.
Yeah, it was hours and hours and hours of film, watching, dissecting a lot of Eagles and 49ers tape when Coach Day was in the NFL, and they had so many walkthroughs during the season and before the season of just getting our mesh concepts down, getting our timing down. There was times where we just ran the same play like 15 times in one practice just to get it right. And Coach Day did a great job preparing all of us from all the offensive positions to be able to perform at a high level, but especially me with being able to know the nuances of the offense, be on the same page with him and how I'm reading the plays and protections. And we spent a lot of time picking up protections. That's like his baby. He loves protections. And you know, that's the one thing that we worked on as far as picking up blitzes and IDing coverages, and it was a lot of fun this year.
Dwayne, I think you know how this process works. During the season, we in the media build all these guys up, yourself included. The most prolific passer in Ohio State history, breaking Drew Brees' Big Ten records. Could he win the Heisman Trophy going into the Rose Bowl? And then from the moment the Rose Bowl ends until tomorrow evening around 8 o'clock, we just pick you apart. Actually, he doesn't do this well. You know, it turns out he only started 1 year. Does he even know how to throw the football? Those are the things that you deal with. For you, or maybe more importantly, for those close to you, for your family members, how tough has been the being dissected on a day-by-day basis when you can't go out and play any games and prove yourself again? How tough has that been?
I mean, for me, it's not tough because I don't have cable. I don't watch that stuff. All the stuff I get is from my friends who tell me about it. And my parents, they do their best to stay away from it. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can't control what the media says or what the analyst from this network has to say. You gotta worry about what you can do, what you can control, and that's how it has been from the day when I've been playing football. And I've just been working on getting ready to play this season, getting in shape, and working as hard as I can to, you know, prove to these teams I'm a franchise quarterback.
Dwayne, is there a quarterback in the NFL that you think you mirror your game after, or people have said, you know, you have the same type of game, the same type of approach to football? Is there someone that's playing right now that you could see yourself either turning into or close to?
No, I don't really like to get into who I want to be like, or I want to be myself, but I go back in time when I was younger. I used to watch Warren Moon tape with my dad, and Steve McNair, somebody that I wanted to play like, and those are the two quarterbacks who I wanted to model my game after. Of course, now in the NFL, you watch Brady, you watch Rodgers, you watch the Mannings, and of course, Roethlisberger, somebody I get compared to a lot. And I just want to be myself and just play the best ball I can, and just try to figure out what works for me.
Now, one of my guys, and I was going to ask you a different question, but my guy, Trent Dilfer, now he's been on you for a long time because he's really into watching high school. He's a high school coach now in Tennessee, but he's been bragging about you. But he said you have some of the same attributes. That's positive thing, how quarterbacks think about the game, ball placement, how they have more of a global approach. He put you in the same breath as Tom Brady. What did you think about when my guy, Trent Dilfer, compared you to Brady?
Well, I've been studying Tom since I was 10, 11, 12 years old. My mentor, Sean, you know Sean Springs, he's from Ohio State Buckeye as well, and he played with Tom for a couple of years in New England. And he just said, be like Tom, how he's first in everything, as far as being the first guy in the building, works the hardest, last guy to leave, studies hours of tape. I watched Tom versus Tom going into this season. Even though he was a Team Up North alum, I definitely respect his game, and just be able to be considered in the same breath as him. I feel like from the neck up, me and Tom are very similar.
Dwayne, how important is it to you to start right away, or to have a realistic shot at starting right away, or has the possibility of maybe having something of a professional redshirt season dawned on you, and how do you think that would sit with you?
It doesn't really matter to me. I just want to be in the best situation possible for me. I want to be in a great organization, whether that's from day one or year 3 or week 12. I just want to be able to be in the best situation for myself, for my career. I want to win a lot of games, and whatever team picks me, I just want to be soaking everything up, do everything I can to be prepared for the moment, and be the best quarterback I can be for that team.
All right, Dwayne, I spent a lot of years here in New York City covering local sports, the Jets and the Giants, the Yankees, the Knicks. It is not easy. The media here, I mean, myself excluded, they're pit bulls. you got to handle a lot if you're going to deal with being the face of a franchise. Ask Eli, ask, you know, now Sam Darnold, Chad Pennington had to go through it. So if this Giants do take you at 6, do you feel equipped to be able to handle the spotlight and the attention that comes with working and being a star here in New York City?
Well, I grew up in New Jersey, so it's not new to me. For me, just to be able to be a quarterback for the New York Giants would be a blessing. And media is a media. You have to deal with them, and it is what it is. But, you know, I'm not worried about how so-called bad the media is or how much attention you receive. I'm a homebody. I got dogs. I stay in the house with my girlfriend. I don't do much. So I'm not worried about the media.
Going through this whole draft process, it's very, very difficult. I know there's a lot of things that go on behind the scene. There's some rumors saying that Haskins is slipping in the draft, but I talked to a few people that say no, that's not true. What has been your feeling in the last week leading up to the draft, even though there's been speculation as far as you going up and down the board? And is there a team out there that maybe that we don't know about that has looked at you and surprised that they had a great deal of interest in you to be their future quarterback?
Well, I only had about 5 visits in this process, and all the visits went really well. Just be able to spend time with all these coaches and GMs and owners and let them get to know me. And I haven't had a bad meeting at all. I feel like I did a great job presenting myself as a guy that's willing to learn, willing to get better, and somebody that they can build a team around. And, you know, I don't think I'm falling on anything. Every team that I talk to, they love me. It doesn't matter who likes me the most, and right now I have no idea, so we'll find out tomorrow.
Dwayne, aside from experience, which you obviously can't get without being drafted and going out and playing, what's the part of your game you feel you need to improve on the most? The element that once you do get to whatever team takes you, you're going to focus the most on, or right now what you think is your biggest weakness?
Well, of course, you mentioned experience, but I just feel like it really just, with me playing more football, I'll be more accustomed to maneuvering in the pocket, be able to move off a spot and read defenses better at a high level. I feel like I do a lot of things great, and I'm not one to say I can't get better, but I want to work on everything from my accuracy to my deep throws to my ball placement to my movement to me running the football. I'm on nowhere near a finished product, and I want to work on everything. I want to get better at everything, and I want to be the best quarterback I can be.
Dwayne, you had lunch with Eli Manning when you visited the New York Giants here. What did he order? No, sorry, that was curiosity. What was that like? What was discussed between the two of you?
Well, we didn't order anything. It's what's available in the meal room. So we sat down. We sat down with a couple other coaches and him and Evan Ingram, and it was a great time. I met Evan when I was training in L.A., and he's a great dude. And of course, I always had admiration for Eli growing up, and I think he's a great quarterback. And just picking his brain about how it is here. Just, you know, growing up down the street from New Jersey, right by the stadium, it was cool just to be back in the same area, be in MetLife and experience that all over again, and just ask Eli where he lives at, what does he do in his free time, just simple questions that you don't get to ask everybody every day.
We got to get a lot of intel from you because you had personal intel. One of the guys going to be taken early in this draft. I know you think you're the best player in the draft, but there's going to be a guy selected was your former teammate. Can you kind of give us some of the intangibles that made Nicky Bosa one of the most dominant players that we had seen in college football? And you could tell when he left that locker room, you just didn't miss his productivity, but you did miss some other things.
Yeah, I think Nick Bosa is a great person and a great player. Somebody that I call a great friend. We spent some time yesterday doing some stuff for JCPenney and Michael Strahan collection, and it was great just to see him again. I watched Nick Handley in practice take over a couple plays, and this is crazy how dynamic of a pass rusher he is, from his technique to how he's deliberate with how he studies and how serious he takes it. I feel like whoever picks Nick Bosa is going to get a generational cornerstone for their team, and he's a great dude.
All right, Dwayne, you're here with Old Spice this morning. Tell us what you guys are working on.
So I'm with Old Spice for the new Fresher collection. You can get it at Walmart. You know, they have the real ingredients, and it's moisturized with shea butter, and you can relax with lavender body wash, and it's a great thing to do. As far as hygiene, I like to say clean on and off the field, and I'm glad to be a part of Old Spice.
I love any athlete that comes on and says they want good hygiene on and off the
Buckeyes,
field.
man, we like to stay fresh. Wayne, good luck to you and your family. I know you guys are having a draft party and everything. I hope you enjoy the overall experience. You have earned it, and we are looking forward to seeing one of the great young football players in the NFL.
Well said. Dwayne, thanks again. Good luck tomorrow. Much more.